Hi everybody, I'm back again with my latest Hot Toys figure. This is the Starboost suit from Iron Man 3. It's obviously the one that he uses to shoot off out into outer space. Doesn't come with a lot of accessories, as you'll see in this video. So what I'll do is I'll just, as usual, give you a head to toe look, go over the accessories and just give you a general look around the body and the suit. There'll be no poses or anything in this. I might do some posing videos at a later stage in the year, just for something a little bit fresh. But I just want you to have a look at this figure. There's a lot of people out there who haven't bought this, who are sort of on the fence about it. So hopefully this video might help you out. So here we go with a head to toe look. Hopefully the video will stay in focus. First accessory is the stand. You've seen this on all the others, well most of the other Iron Man figures. It doesn't light up. It's got the dynamic bendable pole, which is okay if you've got a big display cabinet for doing the flight poses and things like that. But otherwise it's no good for radio detolf unless you have it like this. I've also found with a few of mine, when I've tried to bend them, down the bottom here, right where the screw part goes into this base, it snaps. They are quite brittle. You can't really be very forceful with them when bending them, so do be careful. It's just something I've found just lately. He comes with 6 different hands. The hands that I've got on him at the moment, which is the articulated fingers, which is what I normally use for all my Iron Man figures. It just gives you more scope for posing them. He comes with, out of the box, 2 of these fisted hands. These don't have the light up feature, whereas the hands that I've got on him at the moment do. But it's nice paint detailing on them. So he's got 2 of those, left and right, obviously. And he's got 2 of the more solid open palmed hands. These don't have articulated fingers, but it does have the light up feature. And this is the hand that you use for if you want to pose him as he's firing off his beams. As you can tell that by the joint on the wrist there is upwards rather than round to the back of the hand. So you have 2 of those as well. And I will come on to this in a minute because there is a new design on this suit that you haven't seen on the other Iron Man figures. Come on, focus you bitch. There we go. I will be getting a new phone very soon, so hopefully this focus going in and out won't be much of a problem anymore. You got a set of batteries with the device for pulling off the bits of armour to get the batteries in. As you know, if you've watched a lot of my videos, I don't put batteries in my figures just in case they leak. I did have some leak on one of my other old Iron Man suits. Luckily I got to it in time, so I just managed to clean it off. But it does happen, so beware of that. He also comes with a separate faceplate. Now this faceplate has got the closed off eyes, whereas the faceplate that's on him has the light up feature. This I'm assuming is for when he goes into deep space. The eyes obviously close up, so I'm assuming that's why this face sculpt's like that. But nothing too spectacular, nothing inside. Would have been nice if they put a little bit of maybe electronics inside there, but doesn't matter. I don't think anybody's going to show the figure with this. For putting it on and off, it's quite fiddly. You have to really force it at the back of the head, but I'll show you that when we come to the looking around the figure itself. And that's all you get with accessories. I don't really think this figure needs them because it is an awesome looking figure on its own. It doesn't really need it at all. So we will now take a look over the figure. I'll show you all the detailing on the suit, and I'll show you that new little design that Hot Toys have added. Hopefully they will do this now for all of their Iron Man figures. I'll come to that first actually. If you look down on the wrist, better on this side, with the other Iron Man figures, if you wanted to show this hand, you had to take off this wrist guard and put on a separate one that they gave you. It was moulded so it sort of bent upwards, but with this new suit they've actually got one that's on a hinge now, so you can actually, you don't need the extra part, you can put whatever hand you want in with this, so that's a good idea. See, that's how it would look with this hand on. Obviously it'll be faced up like that, and that would bend up over this hand. So that's the new design that Hot Toys have done with this figure. I don't think they've done it on any of the others. Offhand, I'm trying to think back, but I don't think they have. I've got it in a bit tight here at the moment, so it's a bit difficult to see, but there's the hinge. So that's just one thing less that they've had to add to the accessory pack. But we'll now take a closer look at the figure. I say I'm not going to do any poses with it. I will talk a little bit about the articulation. But the head, fantastic head, really superb paint apps on this figure. You've got the little warning signs painted around the figure. You've also got, I think you could just about pick it out on this camera, where the intakes are, you can see a little bit of grey spraying up the side, which is really nice, great touch. A lot of companies when they make these sort of figures forget that, but Hot Toys are getting better and better and better now at painting their figures. They've always been really the best, in my opinion, at paint apps. NECA are getting pretty good now as well, but they're still not quite up to Hot Toys standards yet. I love the honeycomb sort of textured sort of look on all the grey black parts. The arc reactor is a little bit different from a lot of the other Iron Men, but then they are going to be different depending on the suits. Loads of little intakes. Articulation wise, we'll start with the shoulders. Hot Toys have also gone with that spring-loaded theme on the shoulder pads, so this does help you with articulation. The arm, you can just about see it on this side, is pulled out slightly, so you can pull the arms out and up and down to give you a more wider sort of scope for moving the arms up and down, especially for the flight poses. So that's really great. This doesn't hinder the articulation too much, the intakes on the backpack. You've still got quite a lot of room there for the head to move about, so you can get the head in virtually any position you want, really. But as always with Hot Toys figures, take care when posing them, because they do have a tendency to have a few things break off. It's just a quality control issue that they still do have, but they are getting better. You can do a little bit of ab crunch as well. These are all separate, so you can sort of give him that bent over sort of look. Not too extreme, but you can do it. A lot of the other Iron Man figures, on the elbows here, the inside of the elbows, they've got like a rubber material, but they've gone back to the plastic material for this, which I prefer, only because in time the rubber, I think, will fade and rip to a certain extent. So I'm glad that they've gone back to the plastic material for that. A lot of people don't like it, the plastic that is, but I prefer it just because it means your figures are going to last a lot longer. There is a lot of subtle differences in this suit. I mean, you've got the parts that stick out on the arms, it also comes out on the legs as well. On the waist, also this part here is spring loaded, you can just about hear it. So that gives you good articulation as well. It helps prevent rubbing on the paintwork when you move the legs, which is fantastic. The knee pads, Gives you a really good look. If you bend the leg, really bend it, these parts stick out, which just gives it a more futuristic look to the suit, which is a nice touch as well. This part here is all solid. On a lot of the other Iron Man figures, on the armour on the knees, normally you get a joint here, because this part will bend with this leg, but it doesn't, it just sticks straight out, which I like. Got the little vents on the front of the legs there. Foot articulation is pretty much standard, as with all the other suits. You do get a bit of toe articulation, and the ankle does move as well, so that's great. And if you notice from the side, just looking at the legs, just how bulky this figure is. What I'll do is, sometime soon I will put all my Iron Man figures together and do a video on them, so you can see the differences in the bulkiness of the suits. But this really is a nice bulky suit, and what helps it even more is the backpack. Bulks it out as well. Got the air vents on the back, or the intakes. This is also spring loaded. Well, it's not spring loaded, it's actually, you can move it, so you get good articulation on the ankles. Show you that from the side. It does come out quite a lot, which is brilliant. Same with the bit on the front, that does pull out as well. There you go. That's on a little hinge. It feels like a metal hinge as well, which is good. There you can see the flaps on the side of it better. But all in all, an absolutely fantastic figure. Articulation wise, you'll be pleasantly surprised with this figure for articulation. So let's take a look at the backpack. It does have a light up feature. You just pull this part off and the batteries go inside, and the switch is behind there as well. Very easy to take off. I think it's magnetised. These little vents here at the side and underneath light up, as well as obviously the eyes and the beam on his hands. You can see there the joint, really nice for movement. But I prefer this sort of stance for my Iron Man figures. It just looks quite menacing, and I just love it. But yeah, there you go. What I'll do is I'll shut up now and give you a better look, well, hopefully, if it focuses, a close-up look of the suit head to toe, so you can have a look at a lot of the details that you might have missed, or I might have missed as I turned him round. But as I said, hopefully I'll be able to get another camera soon, and this focusing won't be a problem. Does have little scratch marks in the suit to give it that worn sort of look. That's throughout the figure. You can see a bit there on the thigh, but it's all over the figure. So if you haven't got this figure and you're umming and ahhing about it, I would definitely recommend it. I keep saying every time I get an Iron Man figure that it's the best. This one is pretty damn close, I'll tell you. I'm very, very impressed with this figure. It looks good in pictures on the net, but as always, as all collectors would tell you, when you get it in hand, it is superb. This is another one of those figures that when I opened the box, it gave me that wow factor, which hasn't happened a lot recently. I've got 3 other figures that I've got to do videos on. It also gave me a wow factor, which is Maleficent, which is a fantastic looking figure. That might be the next one that I do. I've also now got the strike suit, Captain America strike suit, which again gave me wow factor, because that is another fantastic looking figure. It's definitely the best Captain America that they've produced in my opinion. And I've also got Falcon, which again gave me that wow factor. But I'll come on to those, talk about those when I do the videos. Let's just concentrate on this figure. Phenomenal, that's all I can say. You see in the picture in the background how the knee pad does bend, stick right out when his legs bent. Really does give it a sort of a manga sort of look to it, you know, with the robots that manga use on Ex Machina and all that sort of thing, Gundam and things like that. It gives you that sort of look to this suit. But yeah, there you go. Iron Man Starboost. Definite thumbs up from me. If you're an Iron Man collector, it's a must-have. You've probably already got it anyway, or got it on order. For those who and ahhing or want something a little bit different looking in their collection, we're stuck for sort of ideas on what to get. This would fit in perfectly for something a bit different, mainly because of the colour. But it just really is. I just cannot emphasise enough just how good this figure really is. Should it have been die cast? Maybe. But I'm not bothered about that too much. I'm hoping that Hot Toys would do a die cast version of the Mark IV. They are bringing out a die cast Mark III, which I've got on order. But hopefully they will bring out a Mark IV. Because as a lot of collectors might have mentioned, with the Mark IV that they've got, there are some paint issues around the waist on the Mark IV. This part here, the red bit, it turns pink. Mine is slowly starting to go pink on my Mark IV, so that is why I'm hoping that they will re-release the die-cast version to rectify that. But there you go, that's enough for me waffling on. I hope this video wasn't too boring for you. I know a lot of you guys out there want to see poses. They're saying to you, come on Darren, poses, poses, poses. But that's just not something that I do. If you want to see those sort of things, I definitely recommend Moggy215 or maybe the Reviewer King, who does some really good poses on his figures. And another guy who does some absolutely superb detailed video work on his figures is Xenomorph, so check him out. Another really good one. So until my next video, which could possibly be Maleficent, see you guys later, and thanks for watching.